Hey guys, let me just see if it's running. Hey guys, I just want to make a quick video about the trading plan of Polarity. So I think I am getting better enough where I can start, where I feel like I'm comfortable trading, mirroring it in SPY, and not just kind of like randomly testing things. Obviously, hopefully I'll get better with time and more practice, especially with regression. I still have a little trouble with that. But so I want to talk about the trading plan and kind of how it's a little bit different than other people and how I think it's. I wouldn't say it's better. I would just say it just avoids a couple. I guess is in a way I'm saying it's better. It avoids a couple of pitfalls to success. Um, so I think the most obviously because I'm mirroring the trades in SPY in my other brokerage account, the most important thing is obviously the ES tick size is too large. Um, so the minimum contracts you can obviously is one, and the tick size is 12.5. So just bringing up the calculator real quick. So if you have a stop loss of 15 and your tick size is 12.5, that means per trade you are losing close to $200, and that's a lot. So even if you drop it down to 10, that's $125, which is still a lot. Um, so I think especially if you're going into the trade and you're kind of like, what's the word for it? You're nervous about it because of the tick size and the amount that you could lose. It's not gonna work out that way. You're just gonna be super emotional. You're gonna make bad decisions. You're gonna second guess good trades. You're gonna close things early, and that's really where it's not looking good if you're in that kind of state of mind. So that is one of the pitfalls of success. The second is I think there's just not enough practice in various situations of the market, like regression, trend, and how you want to tackle it. And I think this is really important because, and I think this is where Ninja Trader, obviously Polarity is on Ninja Trader, so it's not part of Ninja Trader. Or sorry, Polarity is not doesn't dictate what Ninja Trader does. But one of the good things, let me try to blow this up a little bit more. Oops. One of the good things about Ninja Trader is that there's a playback function and it's also tick by tick. So there are other things out there, for example, like such as TD Ameritrade, I think, or Swim. It has a playback, but unfortunately, that one's not tick by tick. It's I think it's a 15 tick jump. Um, so that really doesn't. I guess that really doesn't matter if you are trading for a longer swing or something like that. Um, but if you're doing something like this with Polarity, which is scalping, 15 ticks or 10 ticks or 4 ticks or wherever, like a tick by tick replay is really really important. Uh, you know, so let's just say you didn't have this, it would mean that in 20 days you would have to have practicing a simulation. That's 20 wasted days. That's a long time. So a month of time wasted that you could simply just use golden playback, and with the fast forward function or whatever, you can do that 20 days in like a day or something if you're really crazy, or 2 days or a weekend, right? So that's another thing. And the third is the variance is too high. And this is also coming back to the tick size. So if you have a 15 handle, so 15 up, 15 down on your trades, that variance might be too high for you. Um, it might be such that, like, when it gets like -10, you're like, okay, I want to close it. It doesn't look good. You don't let it, if it goes to +10, you want to close it. Something like that. The variance is too high. And that's good and bad, I guess. Like, what you could do is you could close that variance up a little bit, but then you'll have more trades or more false negatives, false positives. Okay, so what's my plan? The plan is to simulate trades in NinjaTrader and then fill it in IB and in SPY, in SPY. So this window down here on the lower left, that's my IB window. So I have two. So basically, I'm doing two lots or two, contracts in SPY, whatever size I want, right? And it would mirror the trade. So once something triggers in Interact or in InTrader, I'll simply, I'll have this highlighted and I'll just click on the buttons to, or I have hotkeys where I can just put on two things, and I have a very similar stop loss or stop or profit taking as in NinjaTrader. And as I get better and better, that I'll kind of hone it so that it's mirroring the profit targets as close as possible. Because I'm actually not sure how much a one tick is in terms of SPY. I think it is about two cents maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Third is, I'm going to just do some nightly practice. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the beeping. I think that's my IB. Some nightly trading practice, and that's obviously with the replay. So right now I'm actually doing replay quite a bit, as I learn. But as I get better with it, and obviously during the day or during the nights, I don't want to be doing it all the time. So I'll just do like one or two replays a night, and just keep my skills up. So the other thing is, how long am I gonna do SPY? So getting one SPY equivalent of an ES contract is quite a lot of money, because one contract of ES is around $400,000. So I'm going to SPY trade ES pretty closely until I max out my account. Because essentially what I want to do is I want to incrementally increase my SPY quantities, so that in the beginning is like, it's important. I guess in the beginning it's just like putting some skin in the game, nothing too serious, right? Compared to my options trading. And then as I get better and better, I'll increase that more and more and more and more until I guess I'll be using the micro ES until the micro ES is actually equivalent, like the number of contracts is equivalent to the minimum contracts that I'll trade in NinjaTrader. Does that make sense? So this is important. So you can think about it like this, right? As I mentioned before, what using the 15 tick stop loss and win that counter uses. One contract is 187, or two. We'll just call it $200, right? So let's just say in the beginning, instead of $200 with SPY, I can turn that into 20 cents, right? Obviously, that's not a lot of money, but maybe it is. Maybe it's just, you just kind of want to get a feel for it, because you don't want to, so obviously I'm very comfortable with 20 cents. So maybe as you get more and more successful, you feel more and more comfortable with practice and with some live trading. So then you'll go to like maybe 40 cents, right, per trade. Maybe then it'll be 80 cents per trade. Then maybe it'll be $2, and then $4, and then $10, and then 20, and then and onward and onward until you reach where your micro ES will be equal to your ES. So maybe, I'm not sure what the micro ES is. Like maybe you're trading 10 micro ESs, and that's the equivalent of one ES, right? So you're trying to work your way up to that point. So this is gonna take a little bit, because need to work myself up to be consistently, before I actually use NinjaTrader and Polarity, I want to be at least consistent for 2 weeks at near a full tick ES size, right? Using SPY and a Marco ES. So I think that's important. You don't want to jump like, from making like $20 per trade to, you know what, I'm just gonna go full ES at the moment and it'll be $200. That's a little bit too big of a jump. Okay. So that's my trading plan. I hope that makes sense. I think this is I wouldn't say it's a little bit different than other people's, because I think a lot of people just kind of start with the full contract right away, and I think there's a lot of people asking in the forums or in the post YouTube video questions, asking, is there a way to do a smaller contract like Micro ES or something like that? And I think this is the way to do it. You just kind of mirror the trades. Obviously, you need to have a different brokerage, and depending on the amount that you have, you need to, decide what's the best route for you. So I have a margin account that's obviously has more than 25K in it, so I can freely day trade pretty easily in SPY. Let's say you don't have 25K, then you'll have to do a cash account and allocate half your money per each day. So for example, if you have 10,000, you'll do 5,000 one day and 5,000 another day. Obviously, you don't need to use the full amount, but that is what you need to limit yourself to per day. So if you have even less than that, let's just say you have 2,000 only, right? So you wanted to use 2,000 to trade in NinjaTrader. Just put the minimum in NinjaTrader, which is $50, and then take the other, just take the other 2,000 and put into a brokerage that will allow you to trade without commissions on stocks, such as Interactive Brokers, which is my preferred. You can use. I prefer that because I do a lot of pre-market trading, and I will with NinjaTrader and Polarity. So I prefer that. Obviously, you can do whatever you're comfortable with. Let's just say Interactive Brokers, because obviously I don't want to. It's just easier. So when you have 1,000 per day, you can't trade a SPY because a SPY is literally. The SPY is $400, and you're in a cash account, so there's no margin. So you're gonna have to go with one of the 3x ETFs, most likely the inverse, which is or XPXU or UPRO, which UPRO is not an inverse. One of those two, one is UPRO is like 30.5, and then SPXU is like 1350 at the moment. So that's what you're gonna have to do. You can make it. There's not a. It will be a longer road because you're a little bit more limited. But eventually you're gonna make it to the Micro ES level. Just doing that type of trading with those 3x SPY ETFs. So anyway, so that's the plan. Follow along. I do live trades now and then. Fortunately, so the other thing is that this NinjaTrader and Polarity is on my laptop, which is kind of slow. There's a good and bad things to it because I'm actually going to be trading Polarity and NinjaTrader or very early in the morning. And when it's that early in the morning, you don't want to get up out of bed, and so that's where the laptop comes in handy. So I can actually trade in bed until it's time to get up, like around 8 or something like that, right? So I guess that's good for that. But yeah, so this is the plan. Actually, let me just show you what it will look like. Oops. Okay, so it will look like this. Now, obviously, this is in playback at the moment, so it won't have this little playback thing. But I'll have my IB window, which is rigged to stay on top. And when I enter a trade, when it enters a trade here in NinjaTrader, I'll just enter the trade here in IB, right? Right now, I don't have anything showing because I don't want to minimize the amount of I want to maximize the amount of screen real estate for NinjaTrader, but if I need to, I can make this, I can move this graph up to actually see the graph, but I'm not going to do that for now. Oops. Okay. Okay, so that's it. So in terms of the strategy that I'm going to use, we'll talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, so this is essentially the plan. I hope this makes sense. Do you have any questions about how this avoids one of the major pitfalls to success, which is too large of a size, too fast, too early? Even like I say, even if you're really good in the sim, really good in the playback, I still don't think you can. And the ES tick size is too large for you. I still think that you're setting yourself
Target
up
filled.
for failure at that point. This is my personal opinion from my type of trading. Obviously, I think I'm more of a paper hands kind of person, but I'm getting better at it. But that's just my experience with it, my opinion. But anyway, hope that helps. Talk to you guys later.